And welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. Last time we took on a few of the Prankster Comets, and this time we will actually finish up the Space Chunk Galaxy for real, more or less, other than a few more Prankster Comets. Now you may notice my totals are a little bit different, and the reason is because I accidentally did it bad. I accidentally triggered a cutscene in the Comet Observatory, and then I also hadn't saved in a really long time, so I had to replay the last video, basically. So that was fun. Luckily, it wasn't like too bad. It wasn't like several videos I had to replay, and honestly, this isn't even as because of the linearity of the game, it's actually easy to keep track of what you have and haven't collected, so that's kind of interesting to note. Tarantox. I was being dyslexic when I said Tantarox. Tarantox makes more sense, because, Tarantula. Got any tasty star bits? Blah 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 blah. 50. How many do I have? 16. Okay. So, we have 2 more we can actually get. There's actually fighting the boss, or we can just ignore the boss and just go for the Hungry Luma. So the problem is I actually didn't collect like anything, so we're actually gonna save the Hungry Luma for later, because I did not pick up enough star bits in the previous segment to be able to actually feed it. So now we're getting boss music again, or lead up to the boss music, which is just a little bit ominous. And we got a new mechanic. We can grab these and launch various things using this. Now this mechanic can get you killed more often than not, so be careful. Be very careful. Where did Toad actually go? Did I accidentally send him off into space? Like, into the abyss? Because if so, I apologize to Toad, but also there's nothing I can really do to help him, sadly. Now the little spider thingies are actually, in my opinion, kind of a frustrating mechanic, and I don't recall if they come back in Galaxy 2, which honestly I'd be okay if they don't. So we have Tarantox, who's basically a giant poisonous spider, which is a fun combination. Poisonous, yes, not venomous. No, wait, venomous. Wait, which is which? Because yes, these are actually different things, but I'm having trouble remembering if venomous was the thing where you have to actually be ingested to be considered venomous. That's poisonous. So yeah, it would actually be venomous, I think. We also launched the toads that are caught in the webs as projectiles too. That's one of my favorite details of this fight, is that the toads can actually help you in an odd sort of way. So the outer poison spitters actually don't benefit you, other than, well, he doesn't shoot poison at you. The goal is to hit its underside. So yeah, just rinse and repeat. I think this is a 2-cycle? I want to say it's a 2-cycle, because not everything can be a 3-cycle, for once in a Nintendo game. That's not what I meant to do. I'm not sure if I can get it this cycle, because I kind of messed up. Okay, we did it. But yes, that was one of the bosses from E3, 2006, at the game's debut. So that's pretty cool. Launch yourself to the star. That is a generous hitbox. I thought I missed the star, but we picked it up anyway. Now, fun fact, I'm actually playing this while waiting for the first go away battery indicator. I'm actually playing this particular segment while waiting for the first expansion pack for Breath of the Wild to actually come out. Fun story. We got an outside the observatory Hungry Luma, so that's cool. I think this one requires like a lot of star bits, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to do this. I have a feeling we won't be able to do this. Barely. Okay. I actually looked it up, and I think the last Hungry Luma requires like 1600, so I was actually pretty close with my guess, which I'm okay with. Actually not being wrong about something for a change. Obviously called the Sling Pod Galaxy, you'll be expecting Sling Pods, which this will end badly, I guarantee you. Obviously you can't get this Hungry Luma until after you've seen a Sling Pod, because this is basically your crash course in using these thingies. I'm not sure where I was going with that sentence. But yes, we have to use the sling. You know, it just occurred to me, having my TV at an angle is gonna be bad. And, well, I think we're saving this for later. What do you think? Now, most Mario games don't let you do that. Fun fact. This was like the only, well, this and Galaxy are like the only ones that let you back out. If you're not touching the ground, actually. In 64, you will actually, I think, get a simplified pause menu without any options if you pause in mid-air, and I think the same goes for Sunshine, to prevent what I just did. Prevent being a cheap jerk about it, pretty much. So yeah, I totally cheesed that, and that is actually a thing you can do, though. So if you want to go for the perfect run, which I will not be doing, that's always an option. The reason is because the game gets really difficult later on, so I am not going to be able to do a perfect run of this. A deathless run. And it's like, because this is just kind of a short one-off galaxy, I figured, and because I completely launched myself in the wrong direction by accident, I figured that was a do-over. Besides, once I remembered what level it was, I was like, maybe we should just finish off this world first and save that for later? Mostly because I want to put it off as long as possible, because I'm not a fan of that particular level. It's kind of tricky, kind of difficult as well, so yeah, I'm gonna put it off as long as I can. Now, the cool thing you can do with this, what was these things called? The Pole Stars? You can actually launch yourself if you time them right. So, in Galaxy 2, not in this game to my knowledge, but in Galaxy 2, it's actually a major mechanic, and is needed to get some of the stars in the game. You actually have to launch yourself really far using the Pole Stars, which I think is a cool mechanic. So yes, basically to me, Galaxy 2 is to Galaxy 1 as why am I blanking on the name? As Lost Levels is to Super Mario Bros. Basically, just a harder, more basically, it's like, it kind of feels like if you mastered Galaxy, it's like your extra mode, like in a Kirby game. How you always have like your extra mode that's like super difficult. And that's basically what Galaxy 2 is to Super Mario Galaxy 1. It's just basically a hard extra story, kind of. Nowadays it would be DLC for like 20 bucks, probably, but back in 2010, Nintendo was behind the bandwagon when it came to DLC. And while I say that, I'm actually not sure if that's true, because, well, this is a Yoshi head plant, just as I was about to talk about Yoshi, so that's a weird piece of irony if I've ever seen one. Yoshi is in Galaxy 2, mild spoiler I suppose, but I don't know if he's actually like have been like rendered for this game. So it's like I'm actually not entirely sure if it would have been possible to just have Mario Galaxy 2 as DLC. Because I'm trying to think of like New Super Luigi U, for example. I don't think they brought in any like new level set pieces or like new entirely like brand new gameplay mechanics or anything like that. It was just basically Galaxy 1 gameplay mechanics with a twist. Yeah, you can do the homing, ground pound if you're low on health, to just sort of make sure you don't mess things up. You can do it at any time. I realized after saying that the way I worded it might be misconstrued, but yes, you can do the homing ground pound any time, but I just mean it's a good idea to use it if you're about to die and you have to precisely hit a target. That's what I meant. I could have sworn you got a star on this island too, but I don't remember where it actually is. I did the wrong type of ground pound, but it ended up working out anyway, so okay. But yeah, I could have sworn you got a rainbow star in this level. Oh, that's another star on top of a Yoshi, of all places. You know what? It just occurred to me. I almost got sniped by one of those steam jets. I almost just died because of one of the steam jets. That would have been really terrible, actually. So I'm glad it didn't happen, because that would have been sad. Yoshi's unexpected appearance, but yeah, he won't be playable until Super Mario Galaxy 2, unfortunately. Well, frankly, if you've been following this channel long enough, you'll know that Yoshi is one of my favorite Mario characters. I say Yoshi's number 1, and honestly, I can't really come up with anybody after that. Oh, this level kind of stinks a little bit. Because if you're not cognizant of like a good route, you can actually trap yourself and make the level pretty much unbeatable. They give you a 1-up, and honestly, it's probably for that very reason, because you can accidentally get yourself killed here. Yeah, if you're not careful when collecting little music notes, you can actually be in trouble. So let's try to avoid trapping ourselves in a position where we can't escape, shall we? Let's clear out that row there. There's a harder variant. It might be in Galaxy 2 though, or it might be in this game. I don't recall. And yeah, that was definitely the easy mode. There's definitely a tougher variant, because I remember that being a lot tougher. Now, the center of gravity is actually the star, so you automatically fall straight into it, which is nice. And that's 20, so we're a 1/6 of the way there. That's always one of those words that I've always had trouble saying, 6th, because it's like a XTH. It's just not a sound that feels very natural, I guess you could say. Open that up, and I'm not gonna open that up because of the music, because I like the music in this level. In the little dome room, and I don't prefer the Bowser version, because there's a separate version, by the way, where it's a little bit more ominous once you've actually revealed the Bowser base, so I actually don't want to do that quite yet. I like the music the way it is. What's it at? While we're waiting, it is at 28%. I will not be covering the DLC or Breath of the Wild at all if these capture card issues with Switch games linger, which it feels like it is. If you're on Mac, you basically are kind of screwed, because they always patch the Windows version a lot sooner. So if you're a Mac user like I am, you're kind of screwed. Like, there's a time when, even on my completely out-of-date, underpowered PC laptop, I was actually using that to record, if you recall, during Thousand Year Door, because for some reason I couldn't get games to record reliably on my MacBook at the time. So, even though it was above the specs, so yeah, really buggy for some reason. Now, if you ever need star bits, this is not a bad level to get star bits in, because you think we got a lot now, but yeah, they continually rain on you, and also there's a couple opportunities to get a lot in a row. So yes, this is a good level for star bits, but also don't star bit farm, because that is also pretty useless. I only recall farming for star bits a few times on my previous playthroughs. Mostly for the Hungry Lumas, but beyond the Hungry Lumas, there's no reason to get max star bits. It doesn't count for a star, like say in a traditional Mario game, where like a 2D Mario or even like 3D World, where some of the requirements are kind of ridiculous for 100%. Not gonna lie. So, if you collect 9999 star bits, 9999, you end up transforming the coconuts into the coconuts I think into watermelons, but they act the same way. They just look different, and it's a nice Easter egg. But I also don't consider that a completion requirement, because that's also kind of crazy. So what you need to do is, if you don't want star bits, that is, lure it over here. You can actually duck under the bullet bill in this case, and get an easy star for your troubles. Number 21. But yeah, since this is actually being recorded on the day, I actually wanted to mention something. I hope that whatever the reward is for the new dungeon in Breath of the Wild is actually good, because I have one issue with the game, and it's that basically one of your key weapons in the game is kind of underpowered, but supposedly this is supposed to buff it quite a bit. So I'm actually curious to see how much it improves it. I hope durability goes up, to be honest, because durability is pretty low on it in its default. So that's my big hope. I also hope the dungeon isn't too difficult. I hear it's kind of difficult. So yes, to end off, we're finishing up a somewhat shorter galaxy, trying to finish up the sling pods. This is just a little bit scary, isn't it? Wait till they start going by. Also, positioning and just accidentally letting go of a button is scary. Screw that, I'm using the pole stars, because comparatively this is a lot safer. You can actually save yourself in this part. So this part actually is a lot less tight in terms of timing, which I am okay with. I like how it goes to kind of an almost overhead view. That actually saved me. Believe it or not, yeah, that actually saved me. Because I wouldn't have made it otherwise. So that's kind of cool. And crazy at the same time. Where am I trying to go? Over there? Guess I'm trying to go over there. Oh shoot. Yeah, sometimes it can kind of pull you in, other times it really doesn't. It's a little bit finicky in that regard. And also there are no checkpoints, I don't think. Okay, there are checkpoints. Okay, never mind. Okay. I feel like I'm doing better just rushing at this point. Oh, I thought I messed up. As we start swinging back up, like that. There we go. And timing. And there we go, that's the Sling Pod Galaxy. I died once, the first death. Part 5's not bad, really. There were a couple times I think where I felt like I should have died and I actually survived somehow, so hey, it was overdue, to be honest. Sling Pods. But yeah, you'll notice a lot of them don't say Galaxy Complete, because that means we still have a few odds and ends to clear up. I think this is probably just a letter from Peach. Typically when you start up the game, you typically get a letter from Peach because, 1-ups. Hey, we'll take them. And I think next time we should be able to finish up the fountain. So that's on the agenda for next time. So thank you for watching, I hope you join me next time for more Super Mario Galaxy.